I'm Eli Nelson.
And I'm Brody Folk.
And this is the Pirate Podcast. And today we are with Coach Brantley, who's the head coach of the men's soccer team. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Today we're going to be with Coach, who's been the coach for about 13 years, or this is going to be her 13th year. So, Coach, what do you think going into districts, what is the team's mentality?
I think they're excited. I think we're ready to go. I mean, I am as the coach. I know. I think we have, some players that are out, but I think they're ready to continue on. I mean, we've been this last week without some of our players, but I think the guys are stepping up, and I think we're in a good place, and we're working on certain things to make ourselves better. But I think our mindset is we're ready to get out there, we're ready to play, and continue on.
So obviously you guys have had a lot of players out with tracing or COVID or something among those remarks. How have other players kind of stepped up and filled in those roles while those players have been gone? And how are you expecting the guys that are coming back from being out to step into districts with it being so close to actually having to play? When you're in, you lose, you're done?
While some of those players were out, we had, some of those players who were not typically starters, they had to step up and take that starting role. I think they did a good job of coming into those positions as well. They know the positions and what we expect out of them, but I think they did a good job of keeping up with our natural tempo. And then those players that are going to be coming back, hopefully their fitness levels aren't too far gone, but I think they'll be able to step right in as well. Again, they know the expectations, they know the positions and what we've been doing all season and the plan that we've been working by. So I don't think we'll have too much to hold back, especially them knowing that any game can be our last game. I think all of our players are going to put it on the line.
What contributions do Luke Bungie and Isaac Havenmeyer bring to every day to practice and to the games being captains of the team?
There are good captains. I mean, I think they take a big leadership role as far on the field and off the field. Whenever we're at practice, I look to those guys to get things set up if I'm needed elsewhere at the time, or if I need the team to be more focused. I kind of look to those guys to get us going. But in the games as well, they take the lead as far as communicating with our players and keeping us organized on the field. I know us coaches, may be saying things on the sidelines, but players don't always hear that, especially when they're on the field. So I think it's a good thing that we can trust those guys and look to them to be an extension of us coaches while they're on the field, and it continue to guide those guys through it.
So obviously you guys played a really heartbreaking game last week in Smithville. I was there. Just felt like that was just a bitter, tough rivalry game. What's it like playing against them? And they're in your district, correct? What's it going to be like having to probably face them again in districts right after that heartbreaking loss?
Well, yes, they are in our districts, and it seems like each year we have to turn right around and possibly play them again. They're in our conference, so of course we have to play them twice. It's good to have a win at their place, and yes, it was heartbreaking to get a loss at our place against them. We don't ever want to lose to Smithville.
Nobody in any sport wants to lose to Smithville.
They are that rivalry, and I think we went out and we played well. It just didn't go our way that night. We created opportunities that we didn't finish. We should have finished.
I agree 100% with you.
And that's why we're telling our guys to leave with your heads up. I know it was tough, but you got to leave with your heads up as we go to this field. We're going to probably be seeing them again. We have the chance of seeing them again in district, so let's make that happen and focus on that next time. We have to have a short memory as far as the losses go, but we remember the stuff that we need to work on and go from there.
Well, it kind of just felt like in that game, you had lots of shots on goal. They had one free kick that obviously they executed on. You might have had a little breakdown in the back there, but it felt like you guys kind of controlled the game, and once they got up by a goal, they just kind of kickballed it around and everybody dropped back on defense. Is that how normally your guys' games with Smithville kind of go?
I mean, sometimes it just depends on the year and how their team is as well, but I think knowing that it was going to be a close game like that, once they did score, it was going to be, it could be just a one goal difference in a game. So they were going to drop those players back and just get the ball out of there as much as possible. And again, unfortunately, we couldn't break that through and get one in. But yeah, they probably definitely prepare for moments like that when they get up and know that we have to play smart. I mean, do it as well. Whenever we're playing against a good team, we get that goal up. We play smart. We look at the time.
Possession, control the game.
Right. We can't just get out there all willy-nilly. So we still got to be smart and play how we want to play. But, yeah, on that set piece they had, we were definitely working on those this week because that can't happen.
All right, going into districts, usually with you guys being the 2 seed, you would not play a very tough opponent in the first round. But this year, the team, Kansas City East, they beat the number 1 seed, Pembroke Hill. So how much different is what's the team's not mentality, but how do you guys feel going into such a loaded district where anybody could beat anybody at any time?
I mean, yeah, we're a little off balance on our district side where we have just all tough teams, that we got to go up against. But I mean, we approach it like we would any other game. It's not, especially at this point with any game being our last, you can't go in thinking you're playing a Ruskin or someone, even if they were the number 7 seed. And then especially knowing they just beat the number 1 seed, we have to go in thinking that we're preparing for our 1 seed, a Smithville or a Kearney, and come out with that same mentality and physicality as we go into it. We know they're going to have some pace. We know they're going to have some good players, and they're going to fight through to the end because they're fighting just like we are. So we can't let down.
How does your rotation change now that we get into more, not competitive, but more meaningful games here in the postseason? Are you going to change your rotation, or you kind of keep it the same as the regular season to keep everybody in a flow and routine?
We like the flow and the routine. Again, it just depends which players we have available. So, again, we didn't have all the players that we normally would available. So we'll be working those players that we get back in, and then trying to stick with the routine, especially as far as our team shape and play, and going from there.
Does your coaching style just not completely change, but throughout the year, you guys are the team starting to learn how to not to gel, but chemistry the year goes on. When do you really start to change your coaching style, knowing that your players know how to play with one another?
I think it progresses throughout the season. It doesn't necessarily change because we still coach the same way and are, like I said, have the same expectations, but maybe we're focusing on different things throughout the season, I guess. Right now, yeah, we have been working in this shape since the beginning, and towards the beginning of the season where we were focusing on shape and how we move and work in this team shape, since we changed it from last year. And now team has a shape. Now we're working on those small things, or not necessarily small things, but more specific things such as staying goal side on set pieces, really focusing on our weaknesses so that we can make them better for these future games.
So that actually brings us to a really good question. You changed formations at the beginning of this year. What was the idea going into changing your formation from last year to this year? Was it personnel based, or do you just kind of like the feel of that, or want to change it up, or kind of give us your insight on the formation change?
No, each year formation is based off personnel and the players I have to work with. We have a lot of attackers this year and a lot of people that can score. So we went with this attacking mindset and shape because I feel like we had the players that could do that for us and give us those good opportunities, which they have. But at the same time, I have players that I can trust in the back, lowering the numbers back there. That was another thing in the past, was just being able to have players that could fulfill those positions in the back as well. And these 3 have been working pretty well, and the ones that we've been rotating in there, they understand the shape as well. So I think that we've done a good job of, communicating that and working through that throughout the season. But it was definitely something that we focused on quite a bit at the beginning because we just wanted to make sure everybody understood and, we were all on the same page. So we worked on it quite a bit.
Well, before we get to our final 4 here, I just want to, you do have a lot of senior leadership back on the defense with Isaac Havemeyer, Sawyer Allen, and Spencer. It probably makes your job a little bit easier to have 3 seniors back there to kind of control the defense. And then Patrick Sullivan in goal had a lot of shutouts this year and a great year, so I'm sure that really just helps you with defense and being able to attack when you have those 3 guys and you're a good goalie back there.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, the confidence we have in our back line and our keeper, it just helps us to relax. And as coaches, we're not as stressed all the time, but we're getting on, our mids and everyone else. You got to help these guys because they will need you at some point. You can't leave them hanging. But like I said, I think they've done a great job of communicating and organizing on the field. When we're not talking, they are. So, like I said, it's good that they're an extension of us, and we can trust them with that. But yeah, we have a bunch of seniors, and we're going to miss them all when they leave.
All right, so now we're going to do the final four, which are just 4 quick questions that could be about anything. So our first one is, what was your favorite part about your soccer career?
That's a lot. That's a loaded question. I mean, I love playing. I just want to play. I wish I could still be playing, but I love playing at OSU and just getting to play for my school. But meeting new people and playing with, people that weren't from around here and getting to travel, that was always fun too. So I just love playing the game and just that part of it, really. Any game, I was ready to go.
So what was your favorite subject you took in high school?
In high school, aside from athletic hour, it probably would have been math. I was good at math. Don't ask me to do it now, but I was good at math.
You can help me and Eli with Patrick here too with our Calc PC homework.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I was pretty good at that. So.
What was your favorite game that you've coached at Platte County?
That's another hard one, just because there's been so many.
State, you gotta.
Well, of course, the state games. I mean, not even just the championship game. It was just the atmosphere in that game in itself. That that was awesome, and just to be able to experience it with those guys. The state games with the girls as well. My first year we went to, those were fun, and just. I mean, new experience for all of us all around, because it was my first year. I didn't know what I was getting into, but it was pretty cool. But what other games? There's been some other ones too. I mean, anytime we beat Smithville, anytime we beat Kearney is always a good game. So there's been a lot of games that I could go through.
What's your favorite part of Platte County?
Favorite part of Platte County? Well, again, the sports being a part of this program, and not just soccer, but just the culture around here as well. I don't necessarily know that I would have the same support if I was in Texas from maybe like the football coach, Coach Oots. I mean, just working with all of my coworkers, other coaches and everyone, they're a great group, so that would be my favorite part, is just my coworkers and the people I get to work with, and then working with you guys, students, that's why I'm in it, so.
Well, you were kind of worried about going over. You said 5-minute podcast, and we got you on here, and we're at 13 minutes here.
Really?
So
Okay, cut it out.
Thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck at districts this weekend.
No problem. Thank you.